Welcome to Arhomuzone. I'm Arhomuz. I'm your host into the zone. I'm what you might call a scribe. I inscribe, conscribe, describe, and I prescribe. I'm a consultant unto the king, unto the queen, unto the high priests of Levi, unto the wise. And we're just here to open up the book and get some deeper meaning into what it's saying to our hearts and our souls. The art is not for the faint of heart, but art is the word that goes forth. It's the fourth word. Therefore, it is the word that goes forth. Our Father, which art, how great thou art. Our brother, which art. If at any time the interpretation is too overwhelming, please just roll your eyes, close your ears, back away from the computer, and leave the room. This may not be for you. But for those who want to go deeper into the zone, welcome. The government will disavow any knowledge of your actions. So I encourage you to get paper, pen, old school, write it down, open the book, and follow along. That's what this is all about. This is what all that we do. We open, we write, we see, we discern, we try to understand, we try to get deeper meaning into the word that has been here forever and ever. Amen. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And in that kingdom, we create. We create ideas. We create possibilities. Oh, what a beautiful day the Lord has made. And that's what we're here to do, to keep on creating. What do we create? Like I said, ideas, we create thoughts, we create buildings, we create possibilities, we create relationships, we create our world as we know it. And what that's called is the building of the kingdom. Everything that we see around us, man has built. And therefore, we are responsible for our world around us. I mean, how can we build our world unless we ourselves build it? So as we build our understanding, our overstanding and understanding of everything, let's just build our world. Part of the building of this world are the things that we enjoy, the creations. And so I want to talk today about things that we make, man has made, my favorites, music and movies. Entertainment, or as man calls, inner attainment, because hidden within these works of art are messages to God's people, despite the entertainment value of what happens to be going on, the hidden messages of all things. So I want to talk a little bit about the things that we see. We spend so much time watching the media. And in the media now they have reality, which is human stories that unfold without script, just drama, negativity, fights, conflicts, resolutions. But movies are a primary example of our source of entertainment, and music. And to those two things I'd like to speak to today, because despite what people see, there are messages in everything that we see, that the Most High is in the middle of that art. And the classics have been around a long time. The definition of a classic is a work of art that every time you see it, you get something from it. Every time you see this work of art, you get something from it. And films are no different. They say in the black community now, since the young men, what are the most famous films that young black men enjoy? Scarface, The Godfather, films like this. Why? Well, look at the messages. The world is mine. Or in the case of The Godfather, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Biblically, that could mean don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. Never discuss information, sensitive information in front of the family. The Gambler, Kenny Rogers, wisdom. Know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. Know when to walk away and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There will be time enough for counting when the dealing is done. These are things that we hear and we see growing up that I learned a lot from. I was a student of film, and during the 70s, I was reviewing black films for a local newspaper called the Community Informer when these films were coming out, black films. And a lot of messages were in during those times. And in the 70s especially, there were a lot of films that had a lot of different messages that still ring true today. I mentioned The Godfather, I mentioned, here's another one, The Wizard of Oz, which goes back to 1939, The Wizard of Oz. There's no place like home. And home is where we come from. So where do we come from? It's something that we had inside of us all along. Films like Goodfellas in the 70s, where Joe Pesci was told, get your shine box. So in that scene, what were they saying as opposed to what they mean? We know at that time the only people that shine shoes were, well, you know, our people. We're going to leave that one alone. So we know when someone says get your shine box, what that means, especially to someone of that race. So these messages came through, and in the Western especially, a lot of serious human messages, because we are in the Western world. This is Western culture. We're in Western civilization. A lot of those messages really hit home for me. There was a man named Eli Wallach, and he played very, very classic bad guys in two notable films. The first one, The Magnificent Seven, and the other was The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. He played serious bad guys, one who was highly principled and the other which had no principle at all. In The Magnificent Seven, this man was taking from his own people, which is what most races do. Most races, their own people, oppress and enslave and exploit their own people. That's every race of people. And when asked why he did this, he said, if God had not want them sheared, he wouldn't have made them sheep. Now that message holds true today of why people do what they do. In The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, it was just about gold. He had no consideration for anyone other than money, which, fast forward to 2023, there are a lot of our people who walk the streets who feel the exact same way. Nothing personal, but if someone has to sell you down the river for money, hey, what did Tupac say? That's just the way it is. In Carlito's Way, very interesting film of the 70s, Benny Blanco from the Bronx. Here's a man, a gangster, a person who took life before, and now he beats down a young rival, and instead of killing him, he lets him live. And in this young generation, what happened? The young man comes back at the end of the movie and kills him. So instead of taking the beating and the lesson, it says in the Bible, he that can't take a straightening, if you can't take a straightening, if you can't be corrected, oh, what happens? And here comes now the question of, in the Bible it says that a man is sluggard when he does lazy work. Sluggard is the word that is used. Is sluggard the beginning to another, which is the extreme of opposite of good, which is bad, the opposite of right and wrong. But then now we get into the question of evil. Evil. I was teaching a class, a youth class at Della Risa's church, and one of the practitioners stuck their head in, and the message of the day was of love. And I asked the children, what is the opposite of love? And they said, hate. I said, right. Hate. And what do they call it today? Haters. Everybody knows the word haters. Now, if someone is a hater, are they evil? Not necessarily. The book says they're sluggard, which is lazy, but sluggardness can lead to evil. She stuck her head in the room and she says, "Oh, we don't recognize evil here." I said, "Really? I understand what you're saying when you say God is the ultimate good and he created all things. However, I will not tell a group of children that evil does not exist." She said, "Oh, no, there's no evil." I said, "Hey, if a person pulls a child into a bathroom, rapes the child, and dismembers the child, is that good or evil?" And she looked and she didn't say anything. I said, "Not only is it evil, but I would dedicate my life to eradicating that from the face of the earth." So now you're calling into question someone rising against that type of activity. And we've reached a time in America right now where people are feeling the exact same way about what's going on in the world, in the streets, in our schools, in our government. I mean, it's becoming quite clear. And what it seems that the powers that be are pushing toward what they call the continuation of the Civil War or the uncivil war. As George Carlin would say, that's a civil war. Oh, pardon me. Oh, how can a war be civil? But that's exactly where we're at. In the first war, it was the blacks that fought alongside of the whites. In this war, it is the whites that are fighting alongside of the blacks. We've reached a very deep time, and so the meanings of these things have all greater meaning at this time. We've discussed before who are the chosen people and what does this book mean in relationship to the black man in North America, on the planet. It's a very, very deep time. And as we get deeper into this book, some of the answers are here for us to know. I'd like to go into Proverbs a little bit. A lot of wisdom in Proverbs. For those who really want to get the deeper meaning of this book, I would recommend only 5 books for the wisdom. It says it's better to get wisdom than gold. Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastics, Genesis, and Revelations. Now, the other books are footnotes, but there's a lot of death, a lot of killing, a lot of conflict, a lot of personal stories, a lot of testimonies that some people may not be able to understand unless they discern. Study to show yourself approved. Iron sharpens iron. In Proverbs 16, it says the preparations of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. The heart, what's inside, the tongue, what comes out. I would recommend going through Proverbs and staying in there for a long period of time, because there are a lot of things, if you just go through, you'll see things that stick out. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenue without right. What does that mean? All money ain't good money. I would tell my children, the first person that comes up to you, let's just make money any kind of way, run. Okay? Run. People who do anything for money, now we get into the slavery conversation. What people will do for money, they say everybody has a price. Back to the films again. What people for money will do. Wild Bunch, what did it say? When the poor Mexican man asked William Holden, would you sell someone guns that would kill your family? And what did he say? $10,000 cuts an awful lot of family ties. I'm like, So, in this world, in this life, for money, will people do anything? And if they do, what spirit controls that action? Back to evil again. There's good and there's evil. Hopefully we discern at this time, at any time, what spirit is controlling the bodies that you deal with on a daily basis. The bodies you encounter in the streets, the bodies that you come to at your work, the bodies that you see along the byways and the highways of life. Which spirit is controlling this world, and what spirit is controlling you? Money. Somebody said the other day, it's the root of money. Money's not the root of all evil. It's people with money. Is the money the evil, or is it the person? Right now they're fighting over the right to arm bears or the right to bear arms when we have submachine guns and shotguns and guns to say, hey, I have the right to have anything I want. I can do. This is America. You can do and you can say anything you want. We're in a trance world right now where people who are in a trance. Trance is in between. It's an in-between space. It's not on one or the other. Transportation. Transcontinental, transcendental meditation, which is the meditation of the mind and the heart, not the mouth. Trance. And there are people now on this earth trying to decide which side is, but it's like a box and a bag. What did the lady say? Singer, bag lady. When we have boxes and bags, there's transporting. But now when you have people whose homes are full of boxes and bags, it's just trance. We're just in a transitory mode, not knowing where we belong and who is who, what is what. But there are only two spirits that guide this world. The spirit of the Most High God and the other side, that which opposes it. And great good brings great evil upon itself. Righteous lips of the delight of kings. It says, understanding is a wellspring unto him that hath it. The heart is the wise teacher. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. So it is not a battle of flesh and blood, but powers and principalities in high places. Music, that's really where I dwell, and those were the high priests of Levi. It speaks about the Levites in the book. The Levites were the high priests as well as the priests, and they came with the trumpets, the cymbals, the sounds that blessed the air. Back in the day, I was in a group called the Mighty Hearts, a gospel group. Consisted of a man named Dave Landix on lead vocals. He's passed on, rest his soul. Jerry Warner Chambers on bass, Maine on guitar, and myself on drums. Right now, we're going to play a selection that we recorded at the Hollywood Sound Studio back in the day. This is from the Mighty Hearts. It's called He Will Understand.
For those of you wondering who you can tell your troubles to, listen. If when you give the rest of your service, telling the world that the Savior has come. Listen, be not dismayed, for when men won't believe you, you know what? He'll understand. Say well done. One more thing, when you try and you fail and you're trying, and oh, look at your hands, so and scarred from the work you have done.
understand. Look forward in 2023. We've got a new version called He Will Overstand on the Reggae Bite. We're coming with the one drop to bring the message one more time. Let's go now to Ecclesiastics. This is a really wonderful verse, and it's a season of where we are right now. To everything, there is a season, a time to have purpose under the heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. That's very interesting, to pluck up that which is planted. One of the gifts that I've been doing this since 11 years old, is the art of feng shui. What did Willie Chambers say? What's that, Romy Voodoo? No. Feng shui is an ancient art. It was adopted by the ancient Orient. Of everything that you see has a place and a plan and a purpose in your space, in your world, in your dwelling. I've adopted it to my own way, being a black man in North America. So it's tuning the room, tuning the space, tuning the frequency to you. So in your world, where everything that you see is a reflection of yourself. And so about plucking out, letting go, let's just talk a minute about letting things go. When I do music, when I produce music, it's what we leave out that allows that which remains to be. Music is a combination of sound and silence. The sound goes out, it falls, and then you hear the space, and then you hear another sound. Otherwise, it's just noise and confusion. So in terms of the plucking out of that which we have, we gather many things, but now in terms of the season, for some of us, there is a season that is upon us now of letting go. We got to let some of this go in the material world, the things that surround us. So let's talk about some of the things that we need to let go in this life at this time. We let go of ideas that no longer serve us, that we find out, oh, we thought it was one way, but now, because of knowledge, because of understanding, because of clarity, we let it go. New ideas, let that go. Well, what we consume, let it go. Some of these things we gotta let go. I know I used to lay in the gutter and shake for Reese cups. Sugar. That's a powerful narcotic upon the earth. Powerful narcotic upon the earth. Sugar. Woo! And a lot of people have that issue. Some to let it go. Natural sweets. Clothes. Things we don't need. We got clothes. Some of the young people that have been, they got clothes they don't wear. Shoes. Socks. What did the rap song say? I got some drawers older than Lou Rawls. Underwear, socks, old socks, drawers with just the ribbon, the elastic. Let it go. Let it all go. Let it go. This one, for ladies specifically, boxes and bags. A lot of boxes and bags. We go to stores, we bring things home. There are people even put bags in the refrigerators. They take the bag, you carry the bag from the store, you take the bag, put the bag in the refrigerator. Bags, a lot of bags and boxes, things that we carry things in. Let it go. We find as we let these containers, vessels that they go, it says in the prophet, the voice cannot carry the tongue and the lips that gave it wings. Let it go. Papers, things that come in the mail, just bulk. My Master Pa, my cousin, bless his heart, bless his soul, he would keep the peanut butter next to the motor oil. Man, I got to know where it is, a lot of times in the mind for order and confusion, clear away our spaces. Some of us have garages full of things, storage units that we've had for 20 and 30 years. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes if you have something for 30 years and you haven't seen it, guess what? I don't know. But these are just some of the things that we, in an effort to create the kingdom, to let things go that have served their purpose so that we can clear away, clear space, to have more space to live in the kingdom, more space to build what God wants us to do, to have fresh air. And yeah, when you leave the window open, sometimes flies do come in. So there is a risk of opening the window to get fresh air. There's a risk of change, but what did the singer say? Sam Cooke said, one day a change gonna come. And so, as we move forward, just building the kingdom, let us just keep in mind that we're here for a brief time, and space is the final frontier. All we have is time and space. We live in a space, we leave our space, we get into a car, which is a space, we go to another space. If we go to eat, it's a space. The street is a space. Everything is a space, but it's not about outer space as much as it is about inner space. God is love. I'm Arhomuz. Thank you for another episode of the Arhomuzone. Stay spiritual, stay in tune, and I'll see you next time. Bless.